There comes a moment, silent, brutal, undeniable, when you realize the life you're living is too small for the person you were meant to become. That moment doesn't shout. It whispers. In a glance at your reflection. In a paycheck that doesn't match your worth. In the ache of a dream deferred too long. In the quiet knowledge that the problem isn't the world. It's you, or more accurately, the you you've been holding on to. Success doesn't want the version of you that flinches. That scrolls instead of studies. That waits instead of builds. That thinks about changing, but never becomes the change. Let's get something straight. You don't get to bring your old mindset into a new life. Success is not an upgrade. It's a rebirth. And before something can be born, something else has to die. The weak mindset? It has to die. The excuses? Dead on arrival. The version of you that's addicted to comfort, allergic to failure, and constantly negotiating with mediocrity? Bury it. Bury it deep. And don't bring flowers to the funeral. Because success, real success, is a jealous, ruthless force. It demands sacrifice. It demands identity. It demands that you kill the old you, before the old you kills your future. They don't teach this in school. They teach you how to comply, how to obey, how to memorize, but not how to believe. And belief, raw, burning, irrational belief, is the birthplace of everything great. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But belief doesn't come from comfort. Belief is forged in fire, tested in failure, and proven in persistence. Edison believed. When the world laughed. When the lab exploded. When over 10,000 experiments went wrong, he still believed. And so light was born from darkness. You're waiting for proof before you believe. But Edison didn't wait. Ford didn't wait. Oprah didn't wait. They decided first, then became. If you want to rise, you must make the decision before the evidence. Because the evidence only shows up after the commitment. You've been tricked. Tricked into thinking success is a result. But it's not. It's an identity. You don't get success by chasing outcomes. You become the kind of person who attracts them. And the person you are now was designed by your past. Your trauma. Your fears. Your small thinking. Your need to fit in. But the person you must become? That person lives in the future. That person is built by vision, not memory. So stop looking back. You're not going that way. Start sculpting forward. Don't ask, what do I want? Ask, who do I need to become to deserve it? Because the truth is brutal and beautiful. The success you seek is already seeking you, but it can't find you in your current form. Success doesn't come to the person who waits. It comes to the one who works, not just on the world, but on themselves. We all want the rewards. But most aren't willing to kill what's killing them. That's why so few ever rise. Because transformation feels like destruction at first. It's the death of every excuse. The death of every victim thought. The death of that little voice that says, "You're not ready." Let it die. You will never be ready. You become ready by doing what the old you would have avoided. By walking into the fear instead of running from it. By saying yes to the pressure, and no to the easy path. The old mindset tells you to wait until the stars align. The new mindset aligns the stars through action. The old mindset avoids failure. The new one feeds on it. The old you settles. The new you builds. Listen closely, this is the shift. The true war isn't between you and the world. It's between you and the shadow of who you used to be. The broke mindset that tells you to save scraps instead of building empires. The victim mindset that blames others instead of taking command. The employee mindset that waits for orders instead of creating vision. None of that belongs in your next chapter. You think this is about money? Fame? Followers? It's not. This is about identity. About evolution. About taking that raw potential inside you and forging it into something undeniable. You were not born to be normal. You were born to lead. To impact. To create. To become. But not with the same thoughts that held you back yesterday. Not with the same habits that kept you average last year. Not with the same mindset that made you question your worth. Success is allergic to doubt. It cannot breathe in the presence of fear. It does not visit the indecisive. It rewards the obsessed. People will call you crazy. Good. Every visionary was. They called Carnegie insane for trying to build an empire on steel. They laughed at Disney's vision of a magical kingdom. They told Hill he was foolish for writing a book about the unseen forces of thought. But they didn't bend. They didn't negotiate. Because when you know who you are becoming, the opinions of those who haven't begun become irrelevant. So if you're still clinging to your old life, your old beliefs, your old story, understand this. You can't hold on to who you were and reach for who you must become. One of them has to go. And the longer you wait, the harder the kill. Because the old you will fight to survive. It will whisper lies. It will say, you've changed. And you'll smile, because finally it's true. Part 2, Live with Purpose. Every step must have a reason.
A person without purpose.
Will trade everything for a moment of temporary comfort.
Will fall toute temptation.
Will be pulled into a life designed by others. Without purpose, you have no direction. Without direction, you have no power.
And without power, you're just a shadow, floating, weightless, leaving no mark.
You can't soar with a lost soul.
You think you need more motivation?
No. You need a reason big enough. A reason that won't let you sleep until the work is done. A reason that makes you say no to parties and yes to practice. A reason that makes you look in the mirror every morning and declare,
I wasn't born to survive.
I was born to make an impact.
Ask yourself this.
What inside you is too powerful to give up? What will make you rise even when everything falls? If the answer doesn't come immediately, you're not yet living up to your true potential. People with purpose don't need to be pushed. They push themselves. They don't need cheering. They are the fire. Every move they make is intentional. Every decision is part of a greater plan. Every day is a day of construction, not consumption. They don't let life happen to them. They create it, with every breath, every choice, every early morning while the world is still asleep. Discipline, the key to the undefeated.
You don't need more inspiration. You need discipline.
Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you were meant to be.
Without discipline, no dreams survive.
It's not flashy.
Not glamoureux. Not always pleasant.
But it's the only weapon that can slay procrastination, crush old habits, and build the highest version of yourself. Discipline is when you train even when you're tired. When you write the plan even when no one's clapping. When you keep promises to yourself, even when nobody's watching.
You want success?
Keep your word, especially when no one else holds you to it. Because true success is built in silence. Not with one big push, but with 1,000 silent decisions that say, I'm not going back. People don't fail because they lack opportunity. They fail because they lack winning habits. They might have big dreams, but no system to achieve them. Hill once said, you will never achieve anything if you cannot control yourself. It stings, but it's true.
If you don't master your body, it will betray you.
If you don't master your emotions, they will drive you off course. You don't have to be a robot.
You just have to control yourself better than yesterday.
Vision, the most powerful tool most people never use. Most people live through memory. They act based on what has already happened. They say, I failed before, I'm not good at that, I'm not worthy. But the successful? They live through vision. They don't care who they used to be. They care about who they are becoming. Vision is the map. Without it, you're walking in circles. Vision turns boring work into mission.
Turn silence into sharpening.
Turns every small step into a building block of something massive. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to trust that the next step will lead you upward. Vision is so powerful, it makes you bulletproof.
Because when you see the future you want, no one can take it from you.
They might laugh. They might doubt. They might walk away. But you won't waver, because you've already seen it in your mind before the world sees it with their eyes. And that's how everything great begins. In the mind of someone bold enough to believe, to see, and to act. Closing Part 2, Transition to What's Next. So if you're hearing this and you feel something rising inside you,
don't silence it. That is the voice of vision.
That's the untouched part of you, the part not poisoned by doubt, waking up. It's telling you, It's time to rise. It's time to shed your old skin. It's time to become who you were born to be. Not next week.
Not when life feels perfect.
Now. Part 3. You must program your mind for war, or be a victim of it. Your mind is not a playground. It's a battlefield. And if you don't plant purpose, pain will take root.
If you don't program your thinking, the world will program it for you.
You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your mental conditioning. You can't think like a victim and win like a warrior. You can't keep feeding yourself doubt and expect confidence to grow. You can't keep saying, I hope this works, and expect to dominate the game.
There's only one language the universe understand. Certainty. Not arrogance.
Not fantasy.
Conviction.
The kind of conviction that says, no matter how long it takes, I'm coming. Even if the odds are 0, I'm betting on me. I don't need guarantees, I'll create my own outcomes.
You want to rewire your life?
Rewire your thoughts.
Because what you think, become what you believe. What you believe, become how you act.
And how you act becomes the future you create.
Every time you say, I'm not good enough.
You carve that truth deeper into your subconscious.
Every time you say, I never follow through.
You train yourself to accept failure as your identity. It's time to delete the program. Start speaking a new script.
I'm not who you said to be.
I'm a finisher now. I create my reality, one action at a time. I don't need hype, I need alignment. And alignment begins in your head.
Résilience. The untold difference between the broken and the unbreakable.
Every great success story is a recovery story.
No one get there clean. No one escapes the storm.
But those who rise, they never left the fight. They kept swinging after rejection. Kept showing up after betrayal. Kept working when they had every excuse to stop. You think resilience is a talent?
No, it's a choice.
A muscle. A system you build by refusing to fold.
You want to separate yourself from the average?
Don't just survive the pain, turn it into fuel. Use the pain of being overlooked to level up your skills. Use the pain of failure to sharpen your edge. Use the pain of being doubted to become undeniable.
Because when you transmute pain into power,
you become the kind of force the world can't ignore. Most people break at resistance. You build muscle at resistance. Most people shrink in discomfort. You expand inside it. Resilience isn't just about getting through. It's about coming out stronger. It's the mindset that says,
I don't need easy.
I just need possible. Become your own standard, and never lower it again.
Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for sign. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you before you do. This is your life. This is your name on the scoreboard. No one is coming to save you.
And that's the best news ever, because it means you don't need saving. You need to take control.
The day everything change is the day you decide. I am the standard now. No more chasing validation.
No more adjusting your dreams to fit small minds.
No more waiting for the world to say you're ready.
You're not here to live a life of watered-down potential. You're here to set the bar so high, even your old self wouldn't recognize you.
You want wealth?
Be the person who deserves wealth. You want mastery?
Be the one who trains in the dark. You want freedom?
Then earn it, in discipline, in fire, in full ownership. Forget what they say you should be.
Forget who you said to be.
Forget what normal people settle for.
You're not normal. You're chosen.
But chosen doesn't mean guaranteed. It means called to rise, and judged by action.
Obsession. The hidden gear of every game changer. The world tell you not to be obsessed.
That balance is safe. That moderation is mature. But nothing great was ever built with moderation. You think Kobe built his game with balance? You think Elon launched rockets with chill? You think Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich with part-time energy? No. They were obsessed. And that obsession became their edge. Obsession is not unhealthy. It's clarity in motion. It means you're no longer dabbling. No longer halfway in. No longer trying. You're deciding, and everything in your life reflects that decision.
Your routine change. Your standard rise. Your circle get smaller. Your distraction disappear.
Because the more obsessed you become with your vision, the less interest you have in anything that doesn't feed it. Closing part 3, bridge to the final transformation. So if there's still a voice inside you whispering, maybe it's too late.
Shut it down. You're not too late.
You're right on time. This version of you was built through fire for this exact moment.
You've buried the all mince. You've chosen the hard path. You've rewritten the code.
Now it's time to go all in.
Not tomorrow.
Not when it's easier. Now, when it's hardest. Now, when no one else believes yet. Now, when it still feels impossible. Because that is the moment the greats are made. Part 4, the shift. You don't become successful, you decide to be.
There commence a moment in every warrior's journey.
Where the line between who I was and who I'm becoming can no longer coexist. One of them has to die. That old identity, the one that made excuses, feared change, and played small. It served its purpose. But it can't follow you where you're going.
You don't hope your way into greatness.
You shed. You burn. You decide. Right now, this second, you are choosing to stay in the pattern, or become the pattern breaker, to stay in the cycle, or become the blueprint for a new future,
to keep chasing the whole life,
or stand in full alignment with the one that's been waiting for you to claim it.
You are not improving yourself.
You are replacing yourself. The old mindset thought discipline was punishment.
The new you?
It sees it as freedom. The old you waited for opportunity. The new you creates it. The old you needed motivation. The new you needs the mission. That's the transformation most people never make. They tweak. They adjust. They patch cracks in the wall. But you?
You burn the whole structure down.
And rebuild from the foundation up. You must walk like the person who already has what you want. Stop walking like you're trying to earn it. Start walking like you already own it.
Talk like the leader.
Move like the winner. Train like the master. Show up like your vision is already reality, because in your mind, it is. You don't wait to feel confident. You walk with certainty, even if the results haven't caught up yet. Success is not a finish line. It's an identity. And when your identity changes, your actions will follow.
Your standard will rise. Your energy will shift.
Your results will transform.
You are not on the way.
You are already it. The world just hasn't caught up yet. People will say, you've changed. Smile. That's the point. The goal was never to stay familiar. The goal was never to be understood. The goal was to evolve so radically that your old life can no longer recognize you.
The world isn't fair. Build yourself bigger than the system. You want the truth?
Life will not give you what you deserve.
It will only give you what you demand, through discipline, vision, and imbriquable standard.
There are people less talented than you, living the life you dream of. Why? Because they built a stronger mindset. They outlasted the doubt. They trained when it wasn't sexy. They didn't negotiate with weakness. You want to win in this world? You have to become a storm no system can break. Stop asking if it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's the tax you pay for greatness. That's the filter that separates the committed from the casual. And if you want to be one of the few who make it, you've got to love the process more than the praise. You've got to crave growth more than applause.
Because the truth is this.
Success is lonely. Growth is painful.
Discipline is inconvenient.
But regret? Regret is hell. The final reframe, this is who I am now.
No more trying.
No more hoping.
No more one day. Say it out loud.
This is who I am now. The kind of person who shows up early. The kind who does it with or without support. The kind who builds, regardless of the odds. The kind who refuses to live one more day below their potential. This isn't a phase. This isn't a motivational high.
This is your new default.
And with this identity comes a new code.
You don't break promise to yourself.
You don't chase, you attract through alignment. You don't react, you respond with power. You don't collapse, you expand. Success doesn't belong to the lucky.
It belongs to the relentless.
To those who become the kind of person success is drawn to. You're not here to watch. You're not here to wish. You're here to build something legendary. Final call. Go claim what's already yours.
You know the truth now. The all mince,
Dead.
the all habit,
Burned. The old excuses?
inacceptable.
There's only one thing left to do.
Step into the fire. Don't flinch. Don't look back.
Don't wait for someone to approve. You are already worthy. You are already enough. You are already equipped. And now, you are responsible for what you do with it. So rise. Walk like the one who already overcame. Speak like the one who already broke the cycle. Move like the one who already made it. Because if you're bold enough to become this version of you,
Nothing in this world can stop you.